Hello, I'm Cliff Hildreth, broker-owner of Realty World Estates. If you're watching this video, you may be one of the many homeowners in this economy who finds themselves in a situation where their mortgage payments are becoming difficult, if not impossible, to make. You may be wondering about your options or feel you are stuck because your home is worth less than you currently owe. Many feel that bankruptcy or foreclosure are the only options. Not so. You know, there are many ways to lose a home, but signing away ownership in a manner that destroys your credit, embarrasses your family, and strips you of the dignity is one of the hardest. For owners who can no longer afford to keep their mortgage payments current, there are alternatives to bankruptcy or foreclosure proceedings. One of the possible options is called a short sale. So what is a short sale? Well, when lenders agreed to do a short sale in real estate, it means that the lender is accepting less than the total amount you owe. Although in the current economic environment, most lenders will cooperate, I have to say that not all lenders will accept short sales or discounted payoffs, and they're not obligated to do so. It depends on the circumstances of each situation. Now, having said that, I'd also like to say that more than 80% of my sales in Santa Clarita and the San Fernando Valleys over the past few years have been short sales. That's how predominant short sales have become in this economy. And by the way, I've successfully negotiated all of them for my clients. So if you're considering a short sale though, there could be some tax and credit issues. So for your protection, I always suggest to my homeowners that first, you obtain legal advice from a competent real estate lawyer you trust. And then secondly, possibly call an accountant to discuss the possible short sale tax ramifications. Now, as a real estate agent, I'm not licensed as a lawyer or a CPA, so I can't advise you on the possible tax or credit consequences. And laws change from time to time, so you want to hire a professional who knows something in that area. Now, except for certain conditions pursuant to the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act of 2007, which states that you cannot be pursued on the deficiency on your first mortgage if it's the original loan. Now, the state of California has a similar law in the books as well. It used to be that the IRS would actually consider the difference from what you owed to what you sold the house for as income for you. Now, we all know you weren't making any income, that was vapor money that was in the house that no longer exists. So finally the Congress did something right and passed a law that says the IRS can no longer send you a bill for the taxes on the difference of what you sold the house for as opposed to what you owe. Now, if you have a second loan, the first lender will generally make an offer to the second lender to release the lien so you can complete the sale. Now, most second lenders will accept the offer from the first lender, but, and again, this is important, some may reserve the right to make other arrangements with the borrower, that's you, to make up some of the difference. It's all part of the negotiation and is not covered by the new laws I just mentioned. But, as an example, I had a client with a $150,000 second mortgage. The lender wanted $65,000 from the homeowner. Needless to say, the homeowner did not have $65,000 to give them. I couldn't get it waived completely, but I negotiated that down to $16,000, paid over 8 years with absolutely no interest. This is one example of why it's so important to have an experienced agent on your side. So, how does the short sale process work? Although some lenders may have varying requirements and may demand that a borrower submit a wide variety of documentation, the basic documentation for a short sale is pretty much the same with all lenders. Now, the following steps will give you a pretty good idea of what to expect. Number one, call the lender. Now, although most of the time your agent will initiate the short sale with your lender, in some cases you may need to make the initial phone call to your lender to get the process started, just to verify that you are in fact wanting to short sell your house. This is only necessarily generally with some lenders complying with government programs. Your realtor will be able to advise you if this is necessary. You have to submit what we call a letter of authorization. Now, lenders will not want to disclose any of your personal information without written authorization to do so, and I'm assuming, like me, you wouldn't want them to. If you're working with a real estate agent, a closing agent, title company, lawyer, you'll receive better cooperation and things will go faster if you write a letter to the lender giving the lender permission to talk to those specific interested parties about your loan throughout the process. And the letter should include the following. Needless to say, it should have your name, the name that's actually on the loan, the property address, the loan number, the date, and your agent's name and contact information. Your realtor should have the basic form for you to fill out and sign. Next, you're going to need a preliminary net sheet, we call it. Basically, all this is an estimated closing statement that shows the sale price you expect to receive, all the costs of the sale, unpaid loan balances, outstanding payments due, late fees, and real estate commission, if any. Your closing agent, usually your escrow person, will be able to prepare this for you, and your real estate agent will probably take care of it, okay? The bottom line basically is that the bank wants to know how much they're going to end up with. All right, next you need a hardship letter, okay? The sadder the better. This is a statement of fact. It describes how you got into the financial bind and basically makes a plea to the lender to accept less than the full payment. Lenders are not inhumane, and they understand if you lost your job, you're hospitalized, you're being transferred, you can't afford 2 homes, or you've just had a reduction in income like so many people by changing jobs that don't pay as much as the last job. But lenders are not particularly empathetic to situations involving dishonesty or telling them they must help you or you're going to walk away. In that instance, they'll say, fine, go ahead. What we want is a very simple, just a couple of paragraphs that state you've had a reduction in income, the basic reason why it's difficult to make your payments, and that you'd appreciate any help they could be in getting you through the short sale process. I understand it can be a little embarrassing, but remember, in this economy, you're by no means alone. Many people have seen reductions in their pay or the loss of a job. The bottom line is that the lender just looking to see if you have a true hardship and you really can't afford to keep your home. If that's the case, even though it can take some time, you're likely to be successful in the end. Next, they're going to need proof of income and assets. Now on this, it's best to be truthful and honest about your financial situation and disclose your assets. They'll want to know if you have a savings account, money market account, stocks or bonds, negotiable instruments, cash, or other real estate, or anything of tangible value. Lenders are not in the charity business and often require assurance that the debtor cannot pay back any of the debt that is being forgiven. In most cases, the lender will not expect you to liquidate any retirement accounts. Just check with your accountant or your attorney on this as well. Next, they're going to ask for copies of bank statements. If your bank statements reflect unaccountable deposits, large cash withdrawals, or an unusual number of checks, it's probably a good idea to explain each of these line items to the lender. In addition, the lender might want you to account for each and every deposit so that they can determine whether the deposits will continue. In other words, they want to know if it's a regular paycheck or just a big lump sum of money you got somewhere to put in there. Now, if everything goes well, the lender will approve your short sale. As part of the negotiation, you might ask the lender not report adverse credit to the credit reporting agencies, but realize that the lender is under no obligation to accommodate that request, but it can't hurt to ask. Credit report status is not always negotiable. As you can see, the process is a little bit complicated and potentially stressful. It's important that you have an agent that is experienced with this process. You don't want to be with an agent's first short sale, I guarantee you. I've dealt with every issue stated here, but have successfully negotiated all of the short sales I've had in the past 4 or 5 years. You must have an agent that knows what he or she is doing. And if they're passing off the negotiation to a third party, you need to know their success rate before you commit. Here's the bottom line. Be patient. And you're going to hear that a lot during the process. Provide the information requested from your agent or lender as soon as you can. And did I mention already? Be patient. And lastly, I know it seems complicated without a guarantee of success, but if foreclosure is the alternative, short sale is a much better way to go. It can get you out from under a tremendous burden and save you countless thousands of dollars while saving your credit from the worst thing you can have on your credit report, a foreclosure. The FHA even has a program now that allows homeowners who have had a short sale to get a new home in as little as 2 years, as long as they don't have any other credit issues in the interim. As I stated earlier, as a real estate agent, I'm not licensed as a lawyer or CPA, so I can't give you advice in these areas. But in my opinion, walking away or allowing a foreclosure are not intelligent decisions. If you can't keep your home, at least you can minimize the effect it has on your life. Remember, this has been a basic overview of the short sale process. Every situation could be slightly different. I know some of the information I just gave you can seem a little scary. It's kind of like the commercials you see on TV about certain medications. After they go through all the possible side effects, you might be thinking the disease is better than the cure. But believe me, it's not. I can help you with any question you have, and if I don't know the answer when you ask it, I'll have it for you by the next day. Most of these things, like the tax burdens and lender demands, don't happen most of the time. But I think in the interest of full disclosure and just basic honesty, it's my job to give you all the possibilities. That way, if something comes up in the middle of your transaction, you won't be taken by surprise and you can handle it better. If you'd like more information or have any other questions, please give me a call anytime and let's talk. I'll be happy to review your information and give you my best advice. I'm always here to help you in any way I can. Just give me a call at the number you see below and we can talk. It doesn't cost anything to talk, but it can save you an amazing amount of money and a heck of a lot of stress. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.